بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Abu Huraira reported, God's messenger is saying, when Ramadan begins the gates of heaven are open. A version has, the gates of paradise are open, the gates of Jahannam are locked, and the devils are chained. Another has, the gates of mercy are open. Saul b. Sa'd reported, God's messenger is saying, in paradise there are 8 gates, among which is a gate called Ar-Rayyan, which only those who fast will enter. Abu Huraira reported, God's messenger is saying, he who fasts during Ramadan with faith, and seeking his reward from God, will have his past sins forgiven. He who prays during the night in Ramadan, with faith and seeking his reward from God, will have his past sins forgiven. And he who passes Laylat al-Qadr, night of decree, in prayer with faith, and seeking his reward from God, will have his past sins forgiven. He reported God's messenger as saying, every good deed a son of Adam does, will be multiplied, a good deed receiving a tenfold, to 700-fold reward. God has said, with the exception of fasting, for it is done for my sake, and I give a reward for it. One abandons his passion and his food for my sake. The one who fasts has 2 occasions of joy, one when he breaks his fast, and one when he meets his Lord. The bad breath of one who fasts is sweeter to God than the fragrance of musk. Fasting is a protection, from acts of disobedience in this world and from hell in the next. Pt. Vi. And when the day of the fast of any of you comes, he must not use vile language or raise his voice, and if anyone reviles him or tries to fight with him, he should tell him he is fasting. This is not from the Quran, but is a Hadith Qudsi, a tradition, which gives words spoken by God. Abu Huraira reported, God's messenger is saying, when the first night of Ramadan comes, the devils and the rebellious jinn are chained. The gates of hell are locked, and not one of them is opened. The gates of paradise are open, and not one of them is locked. And a crier calls, you who desire what is good, come forward, and you who desire evil refrain. Some are freed from hell by God, and that happens every night. Abu Huraira reported, God's messenger is saying, Ramadan, a blessed month, has come to you, during which God has made it obligatory for you to fast. In it, the gates of heaven are opened, the gates of Al-Jahim are locked, and the rebellious devils are chained. In it, God has a night which is better than 1,000 months. He who is deprived of its good has indeed suffered deprivation. Abdallah b. Amr reported, God's messenger is saying, fasting and the Quran intercede for a man. Fasting says, O my Lord, I have kept him away from his food and his passions by day, so accept my intercession for him. The Quran says, I have kept him away from sleep by night, so accept my intercession for him. Then their intercession is accepted. Anas b. Malik told of God's messenger saying when Ramadan began, this month has come to you, and it contains a night, which is better than 1,000 months. He who is deprived of it is deprived of all good, but only those who are denied prosperity are deprived of it. Salman al-Farisi told of God's messenger saying in a sermon, which he delivered to them, on the last day of Shaban, a great month, a blessed month, a month containing a night, which is better than 1,000 months, has approached you people. God has appointed the observance of fasting during it as an obligatory duty, and the passing of its night in prayer as a voluntary practice. If someone draws near to God during it with some good act, he will be like one who fulfills an obligatory duty in another month, and he who fulfills an obligatory duty in it will be like one who fulfills 70 obligatory duties in another month. It is the month of endurance, and the reward of endurance is paradise. It is the month of sharing with others, and a month in which the believer's provision is increased. Someone gives one who has been fasting something with which to break his fast, it will provide forgiveness of his sins and save him from hell, and he will have a reward equal to his without his reward being diminished in any respect. Some of them remarked to God's messenger that they did not all have the means to give one. who had been fasting something with which to break his fast. And he replied, God gives this reward to him who gives one who has been fasting some milk mixed with water, or a date, or a drink of water with which to break his fast. And anyone who gives a full meal to one who has been fasting will be given a drink from any tank by God, and will not thirst till he enters paradise. It is a month whose beginning is mercy, whose middle is forgiveness, and whose end is freedom from hell. If anyone makes things easy for his slave during it, God will forgive him and free him from hell.